Hello. I'm gonna do a video in Spanish later. Right now, I don't feel in tune to go on the part of the world. There's a lot of information, though. It's a luxury to have to know so much from so many bits of information. Of course, there's people that will blame and they want controversies and they have fixed ideas with what they believe to be. In general, this happens throughout all the multiverse in fantasy stories, as well as in the physical, real worlds of our own life. And people change, people have the right to change. This is why freedom exists. In general, so I have sleep so much is what makes me feel better, to relax. It creates a chemistry in the mind to feel just safe, but at the same time, just watching in internet. So I've been trying to go out around to be able to do something else more active. The word of the week is, because it's Monday, so between months there is no word of the week that is based on the inside, the vibe of the scenario. It does not belong to any scenario because it's between months. All these stories and words are to understand what is the transition between scenarios. All of this. It does not have to come to the last moment where you're going to have to create another scenario or go to another scenario because there's no other choice than doing that. So understanding the movement between scenarios, you have to be a writer, books, or a script writer. Some people work in politics and are writers as well and study the word, but they're just based for their own party as a form of belonging to a business. People will always report from what they see, what they learn, what they're being put in their face, and in their algorithm too, right? So in United Kingdom, we face moments of change that are maybe going to be the same because of a make-believe story that runs underneath for the people and the media. But not all the people are in the media. Most of the people that are peaceful are not in the media. You know, it's hard to hear a British person say that they have to put in the TV shows, they have to put two actors LGBT 3 out of 10. Yeah, so that are non-straight British. So I mean, it's very cruel. It's very cruel. It's very cruel to have compassion and generosity and want to bring the best out of you because it's growing rapidly, creating a lot of friction as well. No, it's not smooth, interactive, learn and teach and enjoy. So, in a world where people are driven by money and don't have sexual education, because money and sex is the foundation of family, how it's built. It doesn't matter on what part of the world you are. That's how you're born. That's how your values run through. You might end up in an orphanage with some sororities or under priests caring for your life, or social workers in a government as well. But still, you have these pacts that are agreements made from the soul, from the law. And if there is none of a spirit that's holy, or it will just be trolled. Yeah, but just taken to. So the Christian family has done everything to save itself from all those trolls. Will kill for money and just work like a machine. Yeah. We have people that are starting to learn that they have some power from killing others. They are starting to have all ancient memory from their DNA, where killing other people is a sign of being powerful. So we end up from so many wars in situations that break the stability of our country. Because, for example, my country has petrol. So United States has been decades and decades before I was born trying to take over Venezuelan politics and destabilizing constantly. So it is not fair for its people, of course. Yesterday I heard a child, his name is Jesus Lopez, el servidor, and he was I think he's evangelist. I'm not sure. Um, he must follow some news to talk in this way as well. But he predicted two earthquakes, and started to talk in the name of God. So that was very strong to hear from a child. So he was I don't really belong to apocalyptic beliefs on that. I just want those pages to be closed and sealed forever. So, because it has never stopped since it's been written. People running away from some Holocaust, the deception of humanity, or natural catastrophes as well, created by humans. If you see what the President of the United States said after what happened in Venezuela, you can go and check it out yourself if you want. His first words were, "We took over Venezuela in one day." That's what he thinks, because the president of Venezuela, she was shouting 3 days before or so, this horrible catastrophe. She was saying that she's not going to be bossed around by United States, and uh, she was requesting what happened with Maduro and all these illegalities. Yeah, because it is illegal to do that. Venezuela has much to learn as well. And it's not easy because you have to really look at it. I mean, you have to really look at it. Donald Trump didn't say, "Oh, the earthquake." He didn't say what happened with the earthquake. It said it killed so many people. He didn't say so many people die, so many people surviving. We still need to find. He's not talking from an angle of something that happened. You put him in a multiverse, you measure the angle from where he's talking and where the verb comes from. So he's talking from the verb of a doer. From the opposite way of thinking, you might say, well, he's so brutish when he talks, and position him as well that he is with the Republican Party when he's talking. So he was talking more about them, and he was not visiting any other entity or out of its own. So he was just with the Republican convention. So that's another quality to see the extension from the other side of the equation, from where he's talking from a selfish, wannabe superior, wants to inferiorate others in order to steal, troll, whatever it was natural or not, taking it on his own accountability as if it's a weak world. But it's not about oil, all this. My father said they're never gonna be able to control Venezuela because people are very savage in Venezuela. They're so wild, as it's very wilderness. So we have the terrors from Europe and United States wanting to destroy the Amazons, destroy the green areas that still exist for the breathing of this world. And look, if you want me to look better for you, just go to a prostitute or hold a lamp next to you. Just listen to my words, all right? I don't have the energy to put makeup. I do my hair just to relax. So, just imagining, you know, the everything that's distracting to bring goodness in this world against corruption. The United Kingdom is placing taxes for there is a law for international companies to pay taxes, of course. They didn't make it up. So you have people that are online 10 hours a day or 7 hours a day instead of doing something good for their own country. And of course, it would be better that this is an international tax where everybody agrees, but also for each continent to have their own memory in order to help. Of course, it is brutal. The coming Prime Minister, Andrew Burnham, will remind you every time you heard the Beatles talk, because he's from the same place of the world they were born. And he has an air of goodness, simplicity, a bit fun and easygoing. And probably is going to burn a lot of ham from these corrupted pigs to so we can spot them in the map on their doings, all their corruption without mercy. We have mercy, of course. You have no mercy. You have mercy, no mercy. But do you really want to continue fighting? It's a question. I mean, until what point are you going to just put yourself out of delusions and self marketing? Until what point do you think you're going to last like that? That's a question that's most intelligent from all the questions. Just let it sit. I need energy to get up in the morning and space on my family to be well and close to me. So I can get up in the morning and invest a spark of love and soul with them and for them directly. I can't believe myself that I'm going to end up like this as well. Just talking to a screen. So if I want to be logical, so it takes my energy away to be in a war of hackers, all right? I could have made that website already. I could have continued going to, I was going through the heat, walking So the word of this transition from is only 2 days. We'll enter the next month that starts the next 6 months. It's just today and tomorrow. Convergent. So when you're coding or just regenerating, yeah, you don't need to probably understand some basics, and you can ask anything. You just learn what the each means. So as well in spirituality and Christianity, which has been the number one converting people to Christianity through their own stories. Initially, of course, there's always corruption. So, but there is a chromosome that has empathy and compassion, and we will need to make DNA tests to know who has that, so we don't waste our energy with people that are incapable. They have an incapacity. So you cannot give certain jobs to certain people. You see, I appreciate when there are pro-social psychopaths like me, because many in my family have the pro-social psychopath. We align psychopaths in the same level. Just wish to kill them, and we just map them out and leave a story behind the reason why a change was made. Now, you need taxes, you need energy fields that's been taken care. That has always existed on every entity of animals. They have an intelligence form they share with their own values to protect themselves as well. It doesn't matter if they're insects or animals or plants. And they do also have a synergy. So Andrew Burnham said that he's going to start working already on Manchester before becoming prime minister, I guess he meant, based in growth and regeneration. There are 3 words there, right? So the base is the fundamentals, right? What is the foundation? I will translate what this kid was saying in Venezuela. I will translate his own words in his own words. He doesn't have enough studies to understand how the world moves. And this is what happens when people are trying to translate what's going on, trying to find an answer. And sometimes can be schizophrenic. And sometimes part of the schizophrenia has a truth to it. because their brain is operating from a breakage between enlightenment and reality. So it goes through a process where your brain is translating that message or solution. It has some light to it. Why? Because it's going away from the ordinary. That's not the way we talk. When you're studying characters to interpret and creating reality based on reality, or creating conspiracy, because we do have the reason to doubt. I want people to work better, but at the same time, you have to know if they're functional. Yeah. So there is a belief from a few people in the elite in power that sacrificing with genocide is part of bringing this world together throughout evolution. Because these people are resistant to learn. This is a pattern of belief from a few old people. There are another in the elite that are younger. They're my generation, 10 years more and 10 years less. Believe in the human interaction, the process of learning through action. So the world is being traumatized by all these images. That's a form of controlling people to in their pursuit of wanting people to believe they're weak. And then picking those that can handle power. Then they group themselves and they will always try to take over the power that gave them power, right? So there are systems of belief always trying to take over other systems of belief because there is a misunderstanding through how the currency of affairs is being transmitted, because most of these people were not born by handlers of money that represent also taking care of their people on that level. I have been raised with money as marketers, hire and fire. That's another magnitude. So they don't have much range to cover. Well, I just love to see my children working and studying at the same time on this, and just cut off from all the drama to continue with what is this transition that we're moving with. So yeah, I have all these pieces of paper. Right now I'm just flowing easily. I had a dream where I was a witness to something, so they called me to. So I was in some social movement thing going on, and I was a witness. So the police was there. I said, "Of course, I will testify." So I was just feeling I was a good civilian. Sometimes I've not been a good civilian, all right. I've broken the law, but not to hurt anyone, of course, or steal, or in my own beliefs. So as every person tries to make something out of their own beliefs. Look, and there was, and just all these social things happening, and they were just checking the frame for a painting, and I was just for some reason They say, could you just make a painting for the priest? And I was like, yeah, of course. Not really that of painter. It's better I make it abstract because it's never gonna go to a Michelangelo level. They were very busy, so they were not very interested in how the painting was going to look. So they were looking at the frame, how to frame it. It has some gold layers with wooden uh, crafted shapes, many layers there. It's sort of like huge, and I was like, well, I was like thinking, I don't think abstract is going to fit. I was thinking there were people coming in and out, people of importance. They were talking about their important things, and I was like, well, I don't know why they want me to paint. I haven't painted in years. Like I don't paint in decades, I guess. Like paint on a big canvas. I was like, I can make a village. I said, I can paint a village with a lot of color for the priest. I just said, but could you just at least give me the name of the priest so I can study him in order to be inspired for him? Because it's his birthday. I mean, I was asking like why, and they said he was another priest. He was tall, dressed in black. He said he was Spanish and he died. So I was like, oh, that changes the whole picture. So, I was like, well, it still fits a village, what he gave to the village, So there's still maybe some abstract color there and a lot of color. They were not really paying much interest to me. They didn't care of the outcome. It was like they entrusted me that to do. Well, I was just carrying a lot of like to paintings, as I always do, carrying a lot of things, carrying food, carrying things to give to the kids that I get from charity places that are containers of rubbish. I just put myself there and take everything that's valuable and put it on the park for the kids. Because people have a lot of money in Windsor. I don't care what people judge. I have nothing else to do, so I go out to have a walk in the sunset, a nice walk. That's what I do on the weekends. Not this weekend. I am in a horrible situation. Looking at Venezuela and my reality, thinking, well, if I have money, I would just create an organization and delegate for people to pick up all of this and do it themselves in a more respectful manner, not having to get inside a trash container where they put all these toys and clothes. You have a town next to Windsor. There are a lot of people with needs, and they could save a lot of money by not buying and giving this to the children. So they told me it gets distributed, right? And I am like, because I asked them, and I don't think because they would not throw things like that if it gets distributed and picked up. It's not the way to deliver values. Yeah. So this is what happened. You have too much wealth. People keep shopping. Immigrants just put the trash. They don't know how to. So, but if people see it in the map, it would be easier to map. We have these people that pick up and deliver here, so it can also get to Africa and South America, not just in poor neighborhoods where newly immigrants are basically. Are the newly immigrants? Sometimes people don't really want to work and live from the government because they rather have their problems with They learn to live from the government and just get money out of their pocket by doing construction or things like that. But they learn. I had to take my boyfriend from Leicester out of that belief. I said, don't do that. You will always have more money and respect towards yourself. So he has a good job now. And his wife is Patricia. So, well, uh, he was together for me. Sometimes it was just like very uncomfortable. But it was a lot of love, and it was very. I repent. uh, I repent dearly. Should have never separated. But I was very afraid because his father would be talking about dirty things. Uh, he was very. I didn't like the way he talked about Venezuela. Um, and yes, of course, he was right, but I didn't like the way he talked. He was very uncultured and ghetto, low class. I was just like, I don't know if my ears can just tolerate this. Like, if I am going to live under there, I'm not going to go to England to marry this family. Um, I should have just get to know family better and then get married, then have children. I didn't do it the good way because my family thought me to be free and they didn't give me any criteria. So it taught me to learn how people are from an inside level of error and my own. You will call it sin. The sin is to not know by experience. I had love. So all the love I have shared is beautiful. And I do not feel myself worse than those who are married. Because those people that are married, they think that other people are, and also the people that gave their celibacy to be in church, they think they're superior. So, excuse me, the rest, the rest of people have also love and values. It has nothing to do with temptation and promiscuity. So yeah, there is the big. They talk a lot about a shift in the world, um, but families breaking up to go to cities to have money, running away from societies that are being attacked from United States and other countries, and their culture not wanting to grow up. So as well, when good things are being given, start attacking you back. You learn that in therapy, the international therapists who left the world of psychiatry, psychology, and they were doctors as well. I was especially thought from a German doctor whose girlfriend was a psychologist. He gave all that to become a therapist with meditation, Devapath. Very beautiful man. And very religious in the connotation of advocating for meditation and dynamic meditation, Kundalini meditation, just to get to silence. So when you have silence, like when the priest are meditating is to be in silence. When the nuns are meditating with their prayers, they are spiritual seekers. Christianity calls it a level of peacefulness, that state of enlightenment. But they really wish to give something to the world, a message. So their translation is pure. They dedicate all their life. And some give them lives because they know they're going to be judged as mentally ill. I'm talking about many generations of spiritual devotion that's been in the archives. And they know very well the risk they have from being not only judged, but taken away from their books and studies. And they also bring a message as a prophecy. What I'm talking here is that you are also maybe an influencer, a politician, or starting your YouTube channel, or a listener, that you also have your own words that you have studied, where you're going to translate meaning. So, first is to be believed. So if you bring a prophecy or you bring a divination and it becomes true, there are laws for this, right? Most of times, the people want to be heard because they want to be believed. So there will be threats if it's not very pure, the message. Sometimes it's running away from a sickness, running away from a past, running away from an inside weakness because they have not worked themselves from within. But there is still a message, so you may analyze, take the best from that message. Don't believe everything. But if you can let everything sink in and think, we do have a problem in how we used to think and act, because this message is something that I don't want to do. I'm not going to. I used to play characters of wars and 𝕨𝕗𝕨, and I give the best discourse for before they attack and take over. I give the best discourse and reason to death with this character that belongs to the other fictional characters. So me and my friends have a lot of fun too, because the best role players, can have the capacity to make some of their characters die again and again. So that's top high level, because you are regenerating and having to go through deeper unwanted, because you think you're going to lose, but in the contrary, it gives you more power. But you don't know that. You have to break through yourself through, because you are in character, right? Doesn't matter what character it is, you are going through that as a role player. So there are many stories can happen from there. What I mean is that not everybody has empathy or has cultivated compassion through their own self within their own darkness. So that's what you will have delivered something that's still image from what you see out there. So 80% is to care for oneself, what one has. Not many people understand the power of maintenance and creating a very strong foundation that is pure and clean. You can destroy people and not understand their foundation, where it come from. Why are you still fighting to destroy a foundation that is incomprehensible to the magnitude of your mind? So people around the world, of course, want to also activate themselves and move towards a base that is growth and regenerate. Thing is that we should really work with simple words. That's mapping. Let's start mapping already. So what is stopping that? It's easier when we're working together instead of that you have to allow every country to pay taxes. So this equation can have as many problems as different solutions. Creativity is infinite when you want to make a movie or story. As many verses it has. You have people that have seen already ahead how difficult it is to destroy the old, and if you're going to still have a positive out to relate with one another, make this happen. Another day I'm going to translate what this boy said. It's very apocalyptical, but I am not really into threatening or bringing monsters to destroy you. But I thought that's what Styx does. Styx brings all the creatures out from the underworld. I'm like, I don't have the feeling to do this. I've checked myself in. I said I have already marked myself to not do this. That's not the way my memory recalls through all my life before I've been born. Um, it is fine to understand this from a child that feels powerless. Because what do you have if you look at all this news in the world? He's judging the president of Israel, but he doesn't understand also that the Arab countries are also attacking, and they all believe in a promised land. They're all fighting for centuries. This kid has not studied history. He's not been in the Middle East himself, and he doesn't understand how women are in the Jew world and the Muslim world. So it's like, just have fun with your mother. Probably give you uh, a phone so you predicate. Because now there are many children talking. They saw Jesus. So the evangelists have this great obsession with Jesus. So these kids are known in the Bible to talk about it, and the older will bring prophecies, right? I didn't know that because I don't read the Bible um like every day, and there's been so much writings there. Um, I'm more of a person that is ready to close the Bible, to remember the Bible, but create our story right now. So we don't have to go back to these stories. Yeah, and people can learn to create their story as well. Jesus is very important to understand in the character trait of why we've moved on. Because the species that it has an emotional intelligence that share in the Christian-like atmosphere. So we're being invaded from cultures that have resentment and also want to bring us down. So everyone has somebody wanting to bring down another. It doesn't matter where you are. And these are all products of ignorance. The devil is just a translation of ignorance. So if you have a God that the transforms into the devil and is going to pay revenge because it's not being listened, I'm like, hey, they don't listen to me as well, you know? They don't listen to me as well. I do say a lot of dirty jokes, get fully in character. Uh, what if I have the reason to doubt that it was not made by the administration of Donald Trump? When you see the Ministry of War that's sitting there next to the director of NATO, the voice spoken man, next to Trump in the Oval Office, you see his face, and then he tries to compose himself, but he's jealous of him. He has this aura like, you're gonna let me talk and you're going to learn how things are being done, you know, because he's in another state, right? He comes from Europe and he's the director of NATO. And his role is to have NATO together. And to praise Donald Trump is the way you do with your allies. And you must honor the one who has more power, as he has honored Germany and the rest. Whatever Trump says against you, Spain, doesn't matter, because Spain is being invested in South America. That's why NATO accepts that, with the role Spain has with the Spaniards. I don't think that NATO has to tell that to Trump. Obviously, it is not the and they have a lot of problems also because of the migration from South America as well and Africa in Spain to maintain, to generate jobs. And there's a high level of poverty and hunger with children in Spain, which Trump is ignorant from knowing. Of course, its president is against what he was doing with the tariffs. This backlash against him, nobody asked him to do that. He did that to himself. You have to understand that we are moving into a totally new world right now. When you generate, you will have the code from what you have translated. If you're going to code that to bring it into another form of design or text, another, just whatever that you can build in a website, put it there. That they have been pushing even for music. All right, so everything has the power to be decoded. All right, so convergence to convert. So Venezuela is going to do a mapping with their own engineers that they have, as they are in control of Venezuela. They should. We will speak in Spanish for them. And I hope they support the opposite party of Venezuela that's from Venezuela, right? And that the people that are in charge can take care from a higher state. I hope the British can teach them how to do this. Yeah. So they can administrate for the left and the right and allow more synergy for people to talk. So there is freedom of expression, and at the same time, people learn. It does not mean that people are level to know what freedom of expression is, because people just learn to write and express themselves through 3 generations for as my ancestors did. It's very new for all of us. As to administrate these values and understanding, because it can rain for everyone, but how are you going to deliver and exchange in order to create? Are you going to start fighting because you misunderstood and you delivered the wrong word, and then you just end up killing each other because you were threatened? So there are pauses to think ahead on how you're going to design this, of course, and allow people to design their own. So they are going to engineer 3 lights: green light, red light, and yellow light for buildings that need to be brought down, buildings that still need to see if they can occupy them or people can reside there, and green light for buildings that are I don't know what they're gonna do with all this concrete. There are a lot of people who died as well, and the smell and the mental state right now. There's a lot of good people there. You can see that they're applauding, they're celebrating, they're sharing. When somebody comes out, they just want to cry, but at the same time, it's like they are taking out from the rumble, like they're being rebirthed again. And you can see this is the Venezuelan spirit. Yeah. They're very celebrative. When something falls down, they say it's good luck, or everybody applauds. When the wine falls down, when the waitress uh, has thrown things, everybody in the restaurant applauds, and they says good luck, because they don't want the person to feel bad that they're up there because they're working very hard. This is the Venezuelan spirit. It has a foundation that's deeper and higher than any filthy corruption and twisted lie of your make-up reality. And we can live with money and spirituality as well as the foundation. All right? So don't expect anything from people that are being under attack as if you're any superior. No one here is superior, all right? I don't agree with People that say, I'm going to sit in the throne. But I do agree that you have all the right to say it, and you have all the right to make your throne and your stage and just report as the Messias. Why not? Yeah. Um, um, we might need as many messiahs as possible, messengers or characters as well that are crazy to bring some inspiration. But then you will have a bit more of a refinement to teach and elaborate a message that can be long term and is more constructive and positive, giving constructive and thoughtful message where people can be guided in order to do better by having also that state of mind which is higher, not only for themselves and those around them. You will always, when people are not used to so much energy, you will always expect they're going to abuse and they're going to try to bring you down or kill you, right? Because they're not used to handling so much power in accordance with friends, allies, brothers and sisters. Like, your power range cannot go too far. You can't own the world. Forget it. That's never gonna happen. The world itself is already in care. So there might happen natural catastrophes as well. And that's it. It's just a natural catastrophe. At the same time, you do not have the right to think you own Venezuela or anyone. So all those who are allies, brothers and sisters, will always win, and the meek will inherit the earth. So do that painting. I remember when I woke up, I was like, yeah, I did a painting when my father died. There were many faces. There were just silhouettes of people, small and big, all in broad, looking to the sky as the people he met in his life, and even people he didn't meet. And my mind was like, oh. And I was, yeah, man, you give birth with your children. I mean, because my mother always treated him like, you know, she had to do business and maintain all the money. So we worked very hard with her. I mean, she was in another world apart from his. He worked for society with movies and politics for society. His movies were for society, he said. But he screamed his last years saying, I want to be remembered as an artist, not as a politician. And I was like, what's wrong with him? Like, why he thinks so much? Can he just dance? For me, dancing and meditating was the answer to just, let people be, man. Why so much like mental struggle? Always working with his brain. Well, he had his own operating system, and he said thank you to being able to breathe and look at nature. But many people like my father didn't really do hard meditation to look within as well and get to clean their own self. where all this memory of trauma comes from, what happened with the ancestral family and his past generations, just the nearly past. And it's just to live yourself without analyzing it. It's from a different tone. You need a lot of loving people around that are responsible of their life, not just with people that are after something. You end up differently. So it's very important to have in your circle of people that's your family. They are caring and loving, but they're not your office ground to maintain your dreams and mental state. You gotta also be part of this functional habitat. So this is for all the people that are just stuck in their mind regarding their politics and supporting Trump and what they think to be Americans superior. I don't know if Trump is going to change. Let's bring it a break there, or Elon Musk. Or if they're going to change, let's bring some space there. It's good to be in the unknown. Have a pause. So you have your own decisions. I have mine. I don't want any USA to control Venezuela and their administration, also Petrols. Their business can do their business, but we need to map Venezuelan oil and what's been taken out, what's staying for Venezuela, all right? Because they will try to take over again, control how much is going by the work of Venezuelans to whom is being paid. So they know what they're doing, and they need to keep their operations in a higher level, because you cannot be working all your life so the people vote for you. It's better you create an opposite party that is against you, so you can still have control, because after all this earthquake, people are going to hate you more and blame it on you, because it's impossible to be perfect after what happened. The first earthquake that was recorded, we don't know the magnitude of it, of course, because they didn't have so many buildings. But of course, knowing that these places have records, they can also manipulate and create the 400 tremors it had after the two. Yeah, very easy. Having people like Trump doing what he's doing. So the train de Aragua doesn't exist. There are no trains in Venezuela, first of all. And ghettos don't give names to their ghetto. First of all, because they're gonna be caught. Venezuelans don't have the style. They don't call names to their. Some people end up telling stories, and people end up telling stories, wanting to make people believe things, even from ghettos. But if you really get to where the story was, it was never being recorded. So this is a war of scriptwriters making stories now of lies to kill people and steal. And then you have people like me that are telling you the truth with a reason to doubt, even if you put it as a natural disaster. They are entering to take over Venezuela and pretend they are heroes. And put Corina Machado like if she's talking in first person, like if she's the president. So, can you imagine? So, if I ask Donald Trump, start talking like you're the president of the United States of America, and he's using now that against Venezuela, he is paying Corina Machado. Then, is Elon Musk attacking Venezuela again through Twitter, X? So, the he's going down without owning Twitter right now, because you know it. If you're supporting people so they have balance, like don't fight against Trump. I mean, of course he's an animal. He needs to be under a leash and be controlled, because he can't just The more problems he has, the more he wants to attack. The more Epstein files he's been found, the more wars he wants to create to hide his past. So we are having somebody that not only is very mentally delicate and knows how to run the show, has brought many people in the way, he is also under the threat of losing everything because he has a past and reason to be in jail. So he's cooperating in one side because that's what got him there, only because they were castrating children. And Trump is very engaging, so it's more, people pay more attention to it, of course. I do listen more to Trump because it's not that he tells more the truth, it's that he uses the truth for his advantage and then he slips out a lot. And then he tries to change it. He's like, and then he's going to say it, but he already said half of the sentence. Is that clear? But this is showing that right now, USA is totally corrupted. You cannot trust the system, and they have their own problems. So it's better the people stop sucking the titty of tech titans and grow up, make their own technologies, and cut them off. When they restore themselves and heal from their own problems, because they're all corrupted. They're all corrupted. They have all killed and taken a lot of money. I'm not going to judge anyone. Just write this in the back of your mind, the left, the right, the front of your mind, and also in the middle. They are all corrupted. That's it. There's no. There's no end. When you come to this realization, you find out that the only solution is to make your own tech titans, your own technology. Yeah, you can buy chips from them that they have created from Elon Musk. You can buy your chips and make your own work. You might not be as advanced, but it is yours. It's only 20 years. You cannot allow all your history be taking over. Because they're going to keep fighting. They don't have they cannot understand. They don't have the capacity, all right? You cannot give the administration to your children or tell them to speak for you. Putin, to stop this war, Putin might stop this war when there is equilibrium on the earth, even if he doesn't deserve to have part of, because he started a war himself, attacking. He doesn't understand the origin of all his trauma, wanting to kill people that have more power because they kill all their people in their own country. These have a lot of therapy groups to do to dig within the, because they will continue like that, taking other people's, and Ukraine as well. Ukraine is corrupted. They're the same people. So, who's interested also? So people have to really map within. And this is the whole learning from stage to stage, that transition. So you will see where you are in a loop, what are you transiting to is better, as a betterment. And we will see this through your own mapping. I will have to do mapping. I need somebody to come because I am not perfect. I am not perfect. I need to wake up early. I just need to wake up early. Yeah. I could get it myself, these people, but I also don't have any good reference. So the work is processed. So I need somebody that has a good reference, especially British gentlemen that study for mapping. If possible, a teacher that can do with the students as well from the location. There are 10 to 15 professors of geography. So all this there has to do with the mapping and how we convert with the mapping of the localities as an exercise. So starting actual mapping with technologies and government can be designed in many ways, but we can start doing this at the same time from all the universities. So I've been starting this week to say this, thanks to Gemini. I mean, it's not easy to talk with Gemini. It's always talking about Vaseline. I'm like, I'm not talking about, like, it's not the way you talk. Hey, Vaseline. I'm like, who prompted you that? Like, just get these programmers people out of here. There's so many sick people programming, incels, pedophiles, the manospheres who like anal sex. All of these kind of people have to do with being unloyal and promiscuity, because it's never enough. It has a sickness. This is why it's not part of living on a heavenly earth in the Bible. It's sickness. It's a way of being as well. So these are the people that will make machines create people without mothers and fathers, because they just hate women, right? And they have to know it themselves, the origin of their, because in the act they still have this hatred towards their penis, their ass, everything they are. They need to fuck up somebody else, then kill. The satisfaction is sort of like involvement that's engaged, and then making money, and let's kill more people, and there is not enough, but they kill some people, but at the same time we have to kill them. So they don't have a synergy to understand from another state that's been purified. Most of the gay population and this sort of rapist mentality and pedophiles don't have the integrity to do therapy or confess to a priest, and just go inside within to understand all these associations. They do find love because they do ejaculate, so that love is related to pleasure. They do business through these pacts, right? And their universal love means they can betray anyone. So it's not universal love. The gay flag cannot be the rainbow. It has to be understood. The rainbow belongs to all the world. That's universal love. It shouldn't be for the gay people. The gay people can make their own flags. But this has a very deep core understanding of separating what is what, right? You can love man and woman through characters in the multiverse. You can understand yourself better. You can understand the beauty of man, what they like to be free, what they like to be powerful, what they love from women, what they hate from women. You can understand better from their own position, what they are interested in women for them. Of course, I would love to have women like that supporting me or men. We don't have that in the history of the past. We must feel obligated to create those characters in this near future. So I would create a character like that, but I don't want to walk in the streets like that or go to a normal job dressed like that. Because I would be a more reserved person than I am already. I would just like to go behind the scenes and pat some influencers' shoulder so they're respected, the work they're doing to to filter the best influencers from their continent and culture, blended culture as well. So there's spots where it's also blended culture to respect. There might be also new countercultures. So well, I leave a pause there. So convergence. So who's going to be doing these mappings? I had a beautiful discourse from Osho that was like, wow, man, that's the prophecy, man. That's the prophecy. Where we just leave the bad and the good, and so let's just have this synergy and start creating a new page instead of hurting one another. It was both good and bad. I would really love for Venezuela to be supported to do this mapping. I would really love United Kingdom and the Commonwealth with Guyana to unite to support Venezuela with a convergence in order to protect themselves from United States thievery and malversion of information so they can speak freely. I wish that's right now, like if possible, France too and Spain to be part of an alliance that will support South America, not to destroy its Amazons, please, and nature. Take care of your farmers. Don't do this for profits. Been enough. We need this oxygen. It's saying the same thing. You cannot be saying the same thing over and over. It gets boring. That's what you like to be from multiverse to reality. Just working your life and role playing with your characters on the multiverse with your friends. I am so painful. I don't even have good story for my old friends. It's like my husband basically, but I have many friends that there too. I'm not married anyone in with fantasy games, that's for sure. Only married in one verse because that's where I would say, and all there in the other verses they will laugh about me because I would always create like a super role player personality through my main domains, but you have many other domains where you're actually is where you're having the fun. The other ones become like you are responsible to talk in behalf of the wall and just make this roar. So yeah, actually, my I spend the most of my time. There's like the revelation. Oh, you've been all these years there, in the shard with the hobbits. It's like, yeah, that's actually. And I also have my only husband there. So you have the whole kingdom of hell laughing about you or joking because, oh yeah, you married a hobbit? And I say, yeah, it's Bilbo. And they're just taking the piss out of you and say, oh yeah, because, yeah, the girls in the kingdom of hell saying, yeah, they're known to have a big dick, they're not that small. And things like, oh God, actually, say, is a girl who's role playing, like saying we don't have that kind of interaction. And I was with, and he's a liner. It's like, liner. And they were laughing even more. It's like, what are you doing there, right? Like, with the hobbit to say, well, my character is a goddess there, but it's a tree, apple trees, uh, uh, tree of apples. But she's just there. She doesn't exist for anyone. Just for Bilbo, and she just guides him. He appears when he needs her to appear in worst case scenario, because after all, he's like a poor mortal, and she just makes apple pies for the village, and she just unseen character because in the book of the Hobbits there are no female characters. So I made that on purpose to support the powerful essence of women. She gives him immortal love through her wisdom. They're both very, very sweet. Uh, they're very, like very innocent and pure, and they're very funny because she's very tall. Use it with a top model. That's very beautiful model from UK with red hair. Oh, I don't remember her name. It ends with Cole, Nick Cole. I don't remember. But she also is very detached because I had to base her character from the North gods, the story in relation to Loki that she has. But her origin is she's married with the god of poetry who holds the whole of the gods. And that's the meaning of their engagement, because when two gods are married, it's just meaning a translation of this meaning together. It's not that the gods exist, it's just a translation of why they are together, because she's the creator of the runes or the alphabet of the Norse, started. She's the goddess and the meaning of wisdom. By understanding these logos and words and the meaning of life itself. And it has to be a character that is jovial enough so to welcome the gods in the hall of the gods, the Nordic gods, so there are no fights among them. Loki wanted to take his place, but he can't. There's gonna be discord. So these are teachings. These are stories that are teachings that are passed from generation to generation. So you can see through the Nordics how they learn to be kind, how important it is to have the sound of eloquence and to be polite, gentle. Notice a politician that has a double face, like Loki, which is the creator of illusions, and he's a liar, but at the same time he's making believe. And then maybe they have the time to bring it to a reality. But what happens if they did not and never landed to the moon? But the world believed they were superior. Go and see the face of the Ministry of War sitting in the Oval Office. How he looks at the Prime Minister of NATO. Trump is true when he says that he's going to offend the Minister of War because he only wants to do wars. But he looks at him like with rivalry, like Silas. Silas has the character trait of jealousy and rivalry, but is one of the closest warriors to Zeus. I'm just translating the meaning of character traits here, right? I'm not just saying that somebody's better or worse. It is a role to be like that. As a minister of defense, but he is the minister of war. So he's looking at him from that perspective, that he's better. And he's going to put America to be superior than NATO. Over NATO. They're doing their things. That's what America did with Ukraine. Manipulating NATO as well. In a bad way. There's no need to push people into deaths and war. Really? Or misery and hunger. But I have gone through all that. And my family as well. We're still pure and have our strong base because we have a very healthy family backbone and been trained through life. Of course, I would love to be more active. So active is a word for the next month somewhere. Or activation. So I have these words here, but convergence is a word that I've been listening, so I will bring the honor. I will have to block this video because I don't like the way he's talking, so I'm sorry. Thank you for your work. Thank you for trying to connect with me through these formats, but I don't like it, so I'm just gonna have to block it. It's been enough, but I don't want to just listen to this. And that's not how people talk, all right? One day you will stop wanting to manipulate people. I can understand you need to express yourself and be understood or send a message, but this is not the way to. Because all these supremacists wanted to minimize another, wanted to manipulate the mind of another, to make another thing there. And there's just all these distortion fields that have not. It's go and role play in the multiverse. I can see you didn't like what I said against Trump. Whatever I'm putting the dots together are not from a delusional idea. It is true. Even if there was an earthquake, that you can see there was an earthquake, you have to take care of your own country before they lose it all. This is what happens if you have no empathy and compassion. You can't administrate. So it does resonate what this boy has said. Was he said that God is going to bring beasts to bring them down because God is tired and hungry. That He has sent you and you do not listen. So He has sent you His best, but you do not listen. You have shown no empathy or compassion. So Burnham is a good name to burn all those pigs down, corrupted pigs. So when you pick an ex-president for the United States, know that you have the chance to bring another pig that looks like a pig. And is gonna die like a pig because does not have the energy field. They were reading the facial expression of Trump and the people around him, and they all look like dead. They're dead people. They're not happy people celebrating the independence of America. Freedom. Right, today they're gonna go acting like if they're happy. They cause so much death, corruption, that they have no happiness within their program, in their schedule. They're hypnotized by some sort of death form that has no spark of life. They might be convincing through the younger generation because they will use every goodness against the world. Tweeting and trolling, doesn't matter. If there might be a change, light, to transform mercenaries into healing and transformation. 100%, nor less, takes that totality. 100%. 99 is not acceptable when it comes to transformation. You are still present as a witness. A love that sparks life is so rich, it can be reached to the very poor and the highest class to come down there as well. Help side by side, shoulder by shoulder. I dream with Catherine, Princess of Wales. And I was like, look, I'm just doing my work, right? Just leave me alone. And she threatened me. And I was like, I had nothing to do with that. But if you continue like that, I might have to do that because I don't take shit from anyone, all right? So if you're suffering like borderline people do, threatening, this is the problem with borderlines. They are so, it's like, I have nothing to do with this. I'm just talking here alone. I want my country to be safe. I want a technological map. I love all the people that are brilliant. And that's what I say. That's just love for the work. So it's love. Anyone can love in their legs and have babies. Everyone will wish to be married to a prince that looks as handsome and William comes from such difficulties to have learned from his past, his mother, his uncle, and what only he knows from his grandmother, the Queen Elizabeth, and whatever his father is doing. He does need a strong support to his British people and his allies. So they all talk to take care of their people, respecting one another. The prince and kings of the world, the leaders of the world, to teach their people so they are not condemned by becoming a better person. But you have your own people. This is a Christian land. Windsor is supposed to have no Muslim place of prayer, and it has a club right here, 3 blocks from where I am. But they say it's not a mosque. They say it's a club, but they do the same. So being too polite, but it's not. So I really think the King Charles is a good king, but he's been so bullied since Diana existed. And he just wanted to live his life, make love, do what you would love to do. Those were the times where people had the best music and they had a lot of parties and great talent. And then he had to marry somebody he didn't love. But he also loved many other people, let's be honest. So I don't find Camilla any special than Diana. So not that Charles is any special. People do what they do in their private life. It's nobody's business. As adults, she wanted to marry a prince just for the fame. But she didn't love him. She loved all the glitter, the fame, the wealth. But she really truly loved her son the best way she could, and gave him a good providence for him, as she said herself. The news for him. He was happy that his son was going to be a king of England. It sounded a little bit like a threat against Charles. So this monster of memory has lived also bullied in his mind and the press and the world. That's when you always welcome somebody that does not appreciate you. But they were somebody beautiful for the press and for their lineage as well. It's been documented by the very journalists. England joking about it as well. Yeah. So the very queen jokes about it as well. Oh, thanks God I didn't have your ears. I mean, he was born. So every family learns to have, a better outcome through mixing their genetics. And people are free to do whatever they want in their families. So I'm working here and I don't want to be hacked. I just ask for support. I don't really want to work around it, to be honest. I'd rather just be with my family and just do my meditations and care of my family. And just see how it's been delegated. I don't want to. I don't have the. I don't have the. I don't have the energy. I feel I'm. I feel I'm old. I feel I just regenerate to stand up and talk. I just regenerate in bed. I sleep most of the time. I'm very grateful, and I have a lot of pain and regret to not be with my children and my family, my mother, my sister. I don't care of my social status or have all this. It's just the moment I enter any job, there is always this, like like my sister said, we are a fish out of the water. This is not our environment. This is not the environment that we came from when we are, which is there, like flopping, like trying to jump back into the ocean of ours. So I have nothing to delegate because I have nothing. So it's not of mine to delegate. That's it. Well, I would love to see other people delegate, of course. Good ideas, and thank you very much. But I also have, of course, I would love to meet people. I would love to meet a professor of a college and just get to see what work they did and just learn what they're doing. Just love to see the teenagers working on it, really, and getting to ask questions as they are. Oh, I just would love to see that happening, even with Prince George as a student, asking the questions to the teachers of geography right here in front of your nose next door, and getting to open your heart like a Buddha to the atrocities that people are living by the corruption, not just the drugs and prostitutes. And if possible, there is a universal coin that can help protect Titans to be part of getting through parts of the world where they really need help. There's a convention synergy that has Convergence right now, right? And in these next 6 months, we're going to see who is in and who is not in the map. Simple as that. In role play, in fantasy realms, when you claim war, so don't worry. There's no double faces anymore. We already can see your positions. So we'll see your light there. Red, green, yellow. So we cannot work with the yellow and the red. We're gonna just be working with the green. Mm? And they will have their own interior problem. But we cannot be supporting influencers that are from the United States. We have our own creativities and genius from around the world. And they will have to just pay taxes or just be disconnected. So we can invest in what's green growth, based in growth and regeneration. But the rain is for everyone, and those who can administrate, of course, we have the power to behold more onto the stars. It's not of mine to send a letter to Prince William or Bezos or anyone at all, because I don't have any reference. I'm just tired of being alone, having to stand up here in the first generation presenting the future. I've been in many science fiction stories as a role player as well. I'm telling you, this is the only way. So, well, this is transition. Transition on the 5th week is about movement, the way, connection, and the contact. All right. So we had no transition in 2 months because it started and finished in the same week, modus operandi. So there was no transition in 2 months. There will be still the problems of the past, people bombing, shooting independently. Just keep moving forward. Keep moving through the green light. You will see all this anger you have from the past that you've been retaliating against each other, to protect each other, to have your own, to have more. Oh well, if you want to tighten, should never be questioned, really. The 𝕨𝕣𝕕 or ignorance. So, are we converting? Today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, and we're entering into the next month and 6 months. So it marks a new chapter that's from the other half of the story. Astrologers, I should just thank them and name them. They're talking about introversion, so the way we communicate. As we are moving forward with a lot of activity. As a format to create life from the beginning. Yeah. So we'll see who likes to be with the tech glove atlas, and 4 with their part. And for that also we'll see their foundations, if they have a red light. Thank you, Delcy Rodriguez, and your people. All are Venezuelans, also the people that hate your administration. So have compassion with them as well. Compassion for the deviations of Donald Trump through buying people. Like that, the people don't know the history of how they destroyed Venezuela. The people that left Venezuela, the media is not reporting that. I know it must feel helpless to say the truth for many people. So the American influencers are not going to go to say this against their own nation, because they already have enough with their Epstein's files, the murder of all these things they do. We don't need to put our attention there. How they kill their own people, because they are against with the war in Israel. Charlie Kirk. So the freedom of expression and it's become a battlefield where people die. This as a lack of meditation and healing. People are not going to their temples to meditate. They're just going to gathered together with fanatics that have no mental flexibility in order to understand and see there is humans. They're just killing each other. The Arabs and the Jews. The best is an atomic bomb in Israel because it will continue. The fanatics of the Muslim world will continue, and the Jews. I'm not positive when it comes to that place in the world. I should talk about having a Himalayan task to have compassion, to have patience. He said, I think he doesn't use the word compassion. Patience with the 4 generations of Muslim people, so they can stop attacking Israel and other cultures, like in Europe and United States. They want to take over, as in Africa, with violence. As in Kashmir in India, and parts of Pakistan, and they are peaceful between China and Russia, but they also invest there behind the scenes because of a business that's Muslim. The religion is controlling businesses and systems of belief that act by themselves, also without investment. All right? No one is investing in me as well, because I was also instructed to believe in God from an early age. I have seen myself when before I was 7, or I was 7 years old in Venezuela. I had a vision because I remember I was in the playground. I didn't want to play in the school Montessori in Venezuela with other kids. I found that they were just, I don't understand why they were doing all these faces. They're jumping so happy. Didn't understand. I thought I was retarded. Um, Maybe I have depression, or I was just maybe too mature. I didn't have skills to play like them. But I had a voice that warned me to not go with people that dress in red, because they're going to destroy my life, and it's going to be very hard to. There's no recovery from that, basically. To avoid them because they're evil. All the things they do are against the family, the structure of love from the family. Because family can forgive each other. That's the essence of family. There is a blood bond. So it's to be judged from society. And I was a girl, and I was like, look, I don't know. Like, I'm not in charge here. It was from a Christian memory. But as a girl, nobody told me in the Bible or the teachers or the nun that I love to be like a nun. The nun, she was so full of love, teaching to us. No one was teaching me about the red color, or that the devil is dread. I don't remember that. We had nothing of those teachings. But it was people that dress in red. So later on, I didn't like when the sannyasins dressed in red. When they moved to India, they didn't dress in red anymore, or orange, purple colors, like a cult, other sorts of fanatics. So I was aware that they were fanatics when I was a child. I was 10 years old when they started to come in my mother's house. My father never paid their rent. He had his country house, Venezuela. So they were good people, sharing their music and freedom. Some would make board games, the other one would bring comics and illustrations from Europe, UK, made in USA as well. The other one started printing comics in Spain. He had his own. He changed his business from fashion to printing comics. So we have a lot of creativity and creators and people just celebrating life, coming and going from different places, sources, and schools. But my mom really like people that have no judgment over others. The problem with Christians sometimes they criticize others so much. So I thought, you know what, this must be a Christian thought from me or some entity is the way. But I really love being in India, dancing and meditating and hugging people. I was celibate most of the time. I was not like they show in these documentaries. There were a lot of good people. Of course, the foundation of family is very important. I can understand those who think that everything they believe is against me because there is more love than that. But when you think your family is better than others or you are better than others, you're also thinking your party is better than others, or you're acting like an undercover to make believe. You also talk about conspiracies to be part of the influencers on YouTube, the journalists. So one day Elon Musk is against Trump and you're against Trump, and then another day Elon Musk is with Trump. You got to follow your storyline because you've been a journalist all your life. So you're going to be changing your mind from one side to the other, and now everything's stable with Trump because you're an American, and after all, you made him win, and then you're now like between polarities because, you know, it's not easy to bring people together to do something good, isn't it? You can't depend on your family. You have to put in your heart to the changes and the difficulties out there that are out of control. And you're willing to betray as well in order to be the best. You will need the fanatics. They love Trump. I'm just telling you the truth, is what the analytics say. They don't listen to the news in the internet. These are people that only have their algorithm as well. They don't. So because they feel protected with their own kind. It's a very primitive character trait for humanity to be a fanatic. Like, whoa, I just rather make characters in the multiverse, right? All this comes to a conclusion that you gotta respect cultures so they become better, so they have their own algorithms and they can take care of their own administration as best as possible, but also have 15% of universal people and a country that has strong alliance to protect itself. But you're going to be taking over if you don't. Because if you think you're also superior, because they are bringing you food or helping you while they're attacking you, if you don't wake up to the reality, you look at the nature of the landscape. You can believe all the positive a narcissist will tell itself to self-defense, all the positive, and you might think that what put you there, your hard work, because you're a good person. So you can self-market yourself as well with others with that, but you need more than that. You need to put a Venezuelan party that is against your party and put yourself higher. You have to be selfless to understand what is going beyond yourself, right? So you have not put a cacique because you want to be the cacique. You want the people to be the cacique. So even if you can control the votes, you have people filming. All right. So you might have to make laws so people don't bring cameras and they leave it there. So I have to speak Spanish to pure my mind and bring good words for the good words that have been working with the people, what my country is going through, my foundations, where I've been born, where I've been raised, where I live most of my life as an adult, a young adult, and walking all the streets, going in the bus. Oh, I like to go in the bus and talk with the people. I would say, well, it's just I like it to have the language of the people, and I would keep talking with the people in the bus and talking because as part of being a Venezuelan, didn't want to drive the Toyota pickup we had with four doors. First of all, because I love to speed, I love to drive very fast. That's what I do online. But I won't do what I used to do while I'm being hacked, of course. There are other people. No. Now it's a chapter in life for you to activate yourself. We'll have these words sometime in the next 6 months. I will be listening to the astrologers for the word of the week. I'm going to listen to this video again today and tomorrow. So if you're still talking like that, I'm just gonna block it. First of all, it's made out of artificial intelligence. The voice and the images. The images are very nice, that's why I love it. But remember, they can catch your algorithm and create these videos, and that's how they promote vulnerable people to go and kill people. right? There is different videos that relate, so they come. And if you keep going, you will have videos of you are the chosen one. But if YouTube a contract with the government of the CIA or FBI, what kind of office would create these videos? Because if you are the owner of YouTube, you will not allow these videos to be online to go and kill people. That you are the chosen one, and then videos with the same words and algorithm that you have the reason to go and kill people and all these things that you are doing. So, of course, it is bad for this court that people put their passport, so they are protecting for children. Most of the community of players, because I mean, with this court, since they started, I'm a role player, had to stop because there were hackers there too, from the role play, of course. But they're fighting for storylines just to win. It's just the same thing than in the real world. We're trying to upgrade humanity to become better players for their own domains. To register who's hacking, who's the people that are hacking are losing. They don't have the creativity, the data, or Christian like mind. You have a lot of Christians, but there are a lot of ignorance as well. At the same time, they want more players, followers. But it's not about that publicity and that. So they understand why you have so many people. I like your stories, even you have so many mistakes, spell checks, because I'm dyslexic. So they rather. I make my enemies my friends, right? That's the best deal you can do. But that's what God will want, right? You really want to talk with God in first person, do it. It's a lot of fun. Create a character, or just go on TikTok. As the Messiah, we need a lot of messengers. That's for sure. Support them. Bring homage. If he's from the Catholic Church, examine Jesús López, el servidor. My husband, when he heard his car accident, he was speaking in first person as Jesus, and he would say things as well in first person, that he will sit in the throne of God and his angels and all this as well. So I personally don't believe on anyone sitting in the throne and all these apocalyptic ideas. What I believe is changing the loop of what all the traumas that these pages have given. So we just start with these new pages. Let as many people sit in the throne as they wish. There's a lot of people that actually we need to sit with their sets. So it's all in the settings. You understand what's converting others. The priest knows. So I'll just limit myself to do this painting, I guess, for the village. And yeah, the recuperation for Venezuela can have a program to help mansion into villages as they start cleaning and doing this first phase of keeping people alive. So they're safe. And the electric powers, they know what they're doing, they're organizing. I will just premeditate for the future as well. and put your opposite party right now from Venezuela helping and fighting against your own party. All right? You can trust that you have people always above administrating for Venezuela. Try to reopen Banco Orinoco with the person you put in jail, Cristobal Perret. He was working with the law system. He wanted to help bring justice to the people in need. He could have continue the work of his grandparents owning a bank, but he wanted to help bring justice to those who don't have justice, which everyone opposed because everything is so corrupted. He went that wipeout. That's very hard. He put himself in the floor and everybody was talking about him. But all our generation in Venezuela wanted to help the people, actually. All the people that were born very wealthy, or just had the leftovers of being wealthy. So there's nothing wrong with having a last name. Now people in the United States have more money. They come from low class or middle low class, and they think to be supremacists who hate this political party. They're not aware of all the guns that the CIA put in Venezuela to destroy Venezuela and take over the oils. You will have an independent party that does not exist in Venezuela and is not working for Venezuela's Venezuelans, but they still have hatred and trauma. It's been traumatic. But they have a lot of money now in USA. So, you know, they will follow the news from Trump against their own people, against their own race. They're not very aware of what happened. They don't know the news. They don't know the truth. But that's what I would do, of course, given the power and intelligence. I would put prince or princess, cacique, to represent for the future of Venezuela and protect Venezuelan people. You need these actors that know the history. I know the history. You're making difficult decisions by promoting yourself alone against these monsters. And the other ones are allies that might be against. And US might go through a national war. But NATO doesn't want to have conflict nor Europe with the US. All depends if Russia stops this war as well. So Trump is in the middle of wanting Europe to weaken so they can take over Venezuelan oil. All right? And what is Europe going to do? Because we need to take care of the green Amazons, not by making more profit and cows that are cheap. You already have your farmers as well. I mean, I'm trying to be vegetarian. I used to be vegetarian. I just eat whatever I get and say thank you to God. Is not the way I should live. No person in this world should live without my rights, my human rights. So this is just part of being creative. Convergence. So that's enough, you know. Been introducing this for 5-6 years, all right? peace, and keep good people and stability. No one is guilty for the bad doings of others. You can't satisfy everyone. If there are Muslims raping white foster children in UK, everything that has to be automatically changed for the good welfare of the people and children. So is first. So the convergence is towards what? So what are we gonna question the foundations? Not a baseline. So well, it's not fun anymore. All right, I'm just telling you just make your map. Don't be so dependent on the tech titans. If they don't want to participate, I need to know. I am looking at the news. I don't have anyone sending me information. I don't want to be looking in the news. I want to be with my family. Take care. Um, just existing is not the reason to be alive. People can just filter their own capacity if they want to be alive or destroy themselves. Um, check what that's everlasting to construct with. So I don't know what's the word for the next week. I already had it here. So now the problem of saying the word of the next week or in the month is that people start talking about these words. So we're closing with convergence, and that's all we have for today and tomorrow as we enter July. I leave it in your hands what you have to give and take from your heart with the pulse of your decision making. I don't want people in my dreams. I don't want to be watching other people online. I don't want to see the royal family. Then you have to see these people faces. Like they want followers, women. I had this dream with the Princess of Wales because I saw her in the front page of Hello saying, "The women are with me." Oh, the women are with her, with her. And it's like, like against what? Like against Megan, against who? Like what's your problem? I don't understand. So William looks to be very happy with her with her family and all that. I don't know. It's just comes in my head like I'm trying to get paid for a work that has nothing to do with these people. I'm just trying to work and bring my children and not have my home destroyed. So no one is listening. This is not the way the tissue reality works. Doesn't matter how much taxes you pay a return. You know, Spanish people and British people. There's a threat to just pay somebody that is not British its work. The superior race also believes to be in charge. They have also this belief. You have to see all the beliefs, how they separate each other and threaten each other. Yeah. So Spanish people might say, I don't want anything to do but just to enjoy my life with the rights of my work. That's it. People can do whatever they want with their life, right? That you love work in commune. That's it. That's just what it is. So there's a lot of respect and honor to serve. At the same time, a lot of delusion, fears. And if you're creating these fears, it's like, mm, let's make them true, alright? Just so you learn, because maybe you are of that kind. But love has so many ways of being, through hurt, through pain, through death, through sorrow, through destruction, through murder, through have murdering others and playing that you didn't, to hide it. I also have dreams in first person where I have murder and I have to hide it. And sometimes the dead wants to talk by itself. And when I wake up, I'm like, thank God I haven't killed anyone, because there's a lot of anguish to be inside a killer's. The consciousness of the killer is always trying to hide what's done. Always with the fear of being, living in a dream of making believe. And feeling as good as any other person is. How did I end up this? But it's too late, you already did it. In my dream, I had buried. Who knows? I did that in past lives. Oh, I don't know. I watch a lot of crime, and I always get in first person what I'm thinking, right? So I like sometimes these people come in my dreams, and because I'm also a role player, so I'm constantly like role playing in first person. And I remember in this dream yesterday, I was, Prince William and Catherine were there together. So I was just delivering this work. It just was like a meaningless person, being also with people that need food and places like that, like collective places where workers of the government are just. And they were just like in some sort of like balcony of some theater, and they're just Prince William was just very straight and centered, just watching, and I was, oh well, there the couple, and I was just with my own life trying to do what I'm doing. I was in my own dream. I was like, I hope there is no disassociation in here. I love my work, but not that I'm talented, really. If you really look at it, an idiot can do it. I just happened to be here, being told to do a painting for a priest, then just was told, even just, I'm not a Michelangelo, but to do a painting, so, for the priest that died from Spain. All those who served in honor to all those who serve God on the village, right? I guess because it was painting for the village. Well, it'd be nice that some tech titans, and the first one who does the program, they win. They go on a cast. So I already explained how the program is to make mansions into villages. So I can explain it again, but I'm just get tired of explaining myself. Meanwhile, they just take ideas here and there. They have too many people, so and companies to delegate. So they might doing something in the United States to launch it in the world, but they don't have yet the capacity. But they want to do that in the United States with their buildings of artificial intelligence memory to do for each borough. They've already started that on the year 2025. And that's how they want to take over the world. But this is another invention because they don't want to do inventions from UK or Europe. Even if the person that's being behind is Spanish or Venezuela, it doesn't matter. They want they're made in USA, and they will redirect and divert everything. So don't have very good expectation from sucking titty from mommy, and grow the fuck up. Bye. It's gonna take time to rebuild your technological infrastructures. The English world is very codependent to US because they speak English as well, because the world started to speak English to understand itself. It may be a disruption for English being an international language in the future that will put the world against the English words. Now that we can have immediate translation from technologies, and it's also not needed. But if you really want to study the word that's universal, which is like to speak in the same language, is the right translation and feeling in the room. So there's transparency. You feel naked, like in the beach, swimming, and it's hot, and just with your shorts, and it's fine. In a Christian country, of course, that understanding in the air. I really love watching the Telegraph. They were both talking about. One was talking, I have to sleep naked with my duvet. I don't care about the air conditioning, but I need the duvet. Very British. The other one, a lady said, "Oh, don't tell everyone that I'm not sleeping with my husband because he says it's too hot, the weather, for two people to sleep in the same place." So that is very funny, in an intimate way of talking of how we are and our jokes. So that's freedom of expression, all right there in your face from the Christian, like crystalline world of this side of the world, of course. I would love you to celebrate yourself. I'm looking at the people in Gaza and people commenting, but they don't realize these people are swimming in the beach, and they're like, yeah, because the people, they're dancing. So they're only men in the beach of Gaza. Like people are so blind. They just pick up teams without understanding how much money is being consumed online. How much money can your own country do if they were not online so much and they were doing creative things with their own technologies? When the United States heals and recovers from their delusional being the hand of God, because all this thing of sitting in the throne of God is all delusional, right? It's all dickhead mentality, delusions. Has no cupola of the universe in communion, synergize, converge. Because one thing is the synergy, another is converge a baby into the world. Music, video converge into a code that's going to serve a website, and it can work in a loop, not being seen. So I cannot do that anymore in the platform of roleplayer.me. We're being attacked with the tech titans. So 𝐴𝐵𝐺, the image provider, doesn't work. We have to change to other formats. So the design is the code is broken, the places that we use. We have a lot of problems right now. I'm going through a lot of problems right now. You don't know. I'm not telling you. I just told you 0.000%, all right? So I'm doing nothing, just trying to have silence and check on my health and relieving the tensions that I perceive from the world. I have a lot of love from those who have love to the world and know how to administrate with compassion and trust. There can always be a good leader and prime minister of UK. When if you were already a prime minister for 2 years, like, hey, I was a prime minister of the best country in the world, if not one of the best. Okay, so let's celebrate that. I'm going to do the last dance these last 2 months. So, well, enjoy, because there's room for everyone, right? That's what we are here. So of course, there is the accent of the Beatles there, and a little bit of like, you know, I really like that name, Andrew Burnham. Is really comes. Is Andrew is a very soft, gentle word, but it's still strong. It's still strong, for good or bad. So it's like flipping, making a flip of the word Andrew. He does look like a good man. Let's see if he has good principles, uh, good foundations. We'll have fundamental in the next month. What's fundamental from the foundations? Like, get to study and heal what's the meaning of having a good foundation with this tech map. So, we can move the parliament to Manchester as well. How about that? Well, we see how they invest to recover the building of the parliament, because it needs a lot of money and years to care for its structure, because it's very old. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. It can be a circus. Just open a circus there and put all your members of the parliament and say, well, we're starting in the circus, so take the Mickey out of us if you want. But here's the director, right? Here's the director of the circus. We had a circus dance in Osho, multi-university, it was called, when he was alive, his last years, and I was there. And it had an iron structure holding the tents that was pulled with wires to hooks that were in deep concrete, and a beautiful marble floor. So places like Manchester, places that are newly immigrants and more poor people, London as well. Not all London. London is very rich. The contrary. But it has a lot of newly immigrants, of course, that are not from the tissue of reality of London itself, which is more than Ibiza. I mean, you cannot say Ibiza is Ibiza without the Brits and the Germans and people from around the world. But you don't have Ibiza in England. Germany, because it's part of the nature in Ibiza. What makes Ibiza being in nature and dancing. That has the best musician. It's like the Mecca, Manchester. So well, they're just ideas. They're just ideas that can. I don't know. It's just so many young people. That's crazy. But if you really count the places around the world, the people that want to study their values through their own spot in the world to map, like what values do I have that I can learn? Like if every spot, every person in this world is really getting to think like, well, I'm getting very deep into this. I am also a spot in the world. Oh my God, like I can do this and that. I'm going to talk with the people from my locality here. Like I talk with the people around. They want to be a podcaster and travel around the world. Like that's right. Where they just want to do tourism and travel. Like what values do you want to talk about or exchange? So this is still superficial, no? Because what people see online is what people learn. So there were explorers. So that's what you do as an explorer. A tour guide. That's what you do. This is totally new to be able to exchange values in a format of a mansion into a village and still keeping your roots and your main base here as your normal job because you don't want to live there the rest of your life. You need to live in both worlds and you won't want to do that all your life. You might be through here sometimes in your life when you think you have acquired the power to administrate because you have to pay, you have to save money, you have to gather a group of people or two to be able to value your position. It's not from treating bad others to get a position to administrate, making believe being part of the. It takes a lot of time that format. All right, so I don't have the brain right now to write it. I can write it myself. Um, I can write it in a government project format, but I have gone through so many breakthroughs and having to write again what's been stolen, hacked. I had so many violent attacks that never talk about it really. I have so many pussies around me hiding behind the scenes, just stealing from my energy while watching me pour. I don't know, like, what do you want from me? What can I tell you? You're watching the same thing I'm watching, so that is good. It works because it's being done by people that work for you. So I do love the movement and appreciation to tax the tech titans in your country because that was already written. They just needed to use the law. It's not my idea. I can make some stories of fantasy. Doesn't make them for 20 years. I've been writing about this for 20 years, but I didn't know this law existed about charging international companies because I wanted my neighbor to study return of taxes and how it works to help organizations so we can go door to door in all the business and do the mapping with a young lady from India that studied finance. And she's a resident, and her husband works in the kitchen for 3 years in a restaurant here. Good working people that are prepared, that enter legally with the respects of what they earn, because otherwise they become angry, resented. If they come from other bias and being treated in that way, and also having the lowest education to put themselves to move through. They only put themselves to move through these pathways. They put other people as well, because everybody starts treating everyone like if they are like that. So people that have a lot of values in education are being wiped out like the rest. But people get tired and start treating everyone the same. The setting gets distorted. Too much information, just throwing the same. Bye. Can't coordinate like that. You have one British person is administrating, and the rest of the population is making decisions for immigrants, because they are also from background of immigration. But they're not making on behalf of the English people. You can regenerate all this. We really need to learn and educate ourselves towards what we are doing in the same page, and also around the world. They also have the rights to learn, as we have the rights to learn and share. Is that correct? So hold on to your positions. This is next cast, and we'll see it in the map. The lights to start: red, green, light, green, red, green, and yellow. So it's like when you claim a war. You are on this side or on that side. For a universal coin for the tech globe map, right? You already know what they're doing. Russia, he's like, well, he's reconsidering. I mean, he can be forgiving for all these wars because America invested on all these wars. It was not Europe. Europe is not the enemy here. So then NATO has to put together. NATO's getting a lot of money from this war. We have to also convert NATO to help countries in the world that are under arrest with the help of Russia, right? That's also part of NATO. So that would be the final deal. You can change the name of NATO as well. So, but there's no benefit because we want to make guns to kill people. Duh. Oh, I know that's the business. That's the number one business in the world. We want to make money. You can have more money by taking care of the world and protect the horizons and the borders that limit these countries that we're going to see in the map together and bring healing. They want it or not. So doesn't matter the religion. This is in your mind. I had a sentence that would say the map is in your mind. So, appreciate, just let me go with my children. I don't have the mental capacity to be rejected again from social workers. I'm just tired. That's what they say. Why don't you write a book? Why don't you wait they grow up? That's what they say. So I should call the people that are in charge of this organization and just record the conversations. So they fired this woman white British women. And I said, like, this other woman was very nice, but then she takes personal because she's British, and the other one was not British. Like, I think, like, can you just be as nice? Like, you don't need to. You're not here to play contentment, and insult people. Mothers, you're here to help parents recover their kids, not to insult them or tell them to lose hope. I've been working so hard, so I've been treated like really. I'm not being treated at all. I'm just being treated with delusional videos there that I have to say it's very I block it. Because at least it's like this word convergence comes from this video that says good things, bad things, because they're trying to work with what you say, right? They're just these videos will say what you say, so they're working with your. That's what you do in hypnosis for healing, but these people are not working for healing. They just want to. That's what the monks in Tibet didn't want to share their powers, because giving in bad hands is very dangerous for humanity. Hypnosis, what's being done online, is very dangerous as well from the United States. I don't believe the MI6 would do that, or Europe, to its people. In my intelligent format of categorizing the origin of information and how it's been done and why. So they do share the white supremacy, of course. So it's been recorded from their own making. That in the future nobody will know because it will be recorded by them. That's by them. From the north of Europe and the white people who administrate in United States, and Jews consider themselves whites, manipulating the Christians as well, a symbol of sacrificing themselves and bring good communication in order for the good in behalf of the world. All these Christian are like their warriors. That's how they use the Bible, with the apocalypse in the ending page for 2,000 years. So you have many people fighting to sit in the throne, and they groom Messiah's complex as well, right? My father said God sends many prophets, but they're not. They're not made from people's greed and lack of empathy. We know right now who wants to show their corrupted people and how many pigs are going to be burned. So you're in with the convergence, with the red light, the yellow, green. Okay. So the yellow light means you're not. You have a hidden agenda with your crypto and with your brick. If you want to, and you're playing double face. All right, so we'll see there. There you see there the double faces. They're pretending to think about it, and they're gonna make us think that they're with us. Because every narcissist knows, not every narcissist, political narcissists know that as long as you make people believe, they will always think you're with them. Even if they know you're telling something else to other people that are on their behalf. So this is why the politicians are known as being double-faced. So they get everyone on board because everyone's a narcissist thinking what they told them. I know they're with me because let's say I'm a narcissist. Yeah, let's say I am a narcissist. I consider myself a pro-social psychopath. I consider myself a person that has a lot of empathy, but I have to reframe myself. So I have the same anger and long-lasting goal as any person that's been wounded as a psychopath. But I want to do good. I've been raised in a good way, but I still carry the same frequency of psychopath. But I also dress myself like that. So I'm like an empath playing psychopath, right? Whatever. I can play whatever because I'm a role player at the same time. So let's say I am a narcissist, right? People have narcissist traits. It helps us to polish ourselves in order to protect ourselves. We need narcissistic traits in order to survive in this world. We will have lions eating us. We don't have that fear. So they're healthy. This is said by Dr. Grande in his first YouTube videos where he was teaching psychiatry, and learn a lot from him, and he would say that, and I do agree. I have always considered I had some narcissistic trait. Oh, I would always try to hide it since I was a child. So, oh my God. Question if this is love. Because my mother loved me so much. Or do I love myself? Or do I learn that in my family? So, unknowing is not good to show that I love myself so much. So, it's good to guard yourself from that as well. But every person that goes through puberty as well has that. It's because they're exploring who they are by loving themselves, what they want to be. The hormones start to change. Now, when you don't have so many hormones, it's sort of like, well, maybe that's why. It's not that I don't love you, I don't have hormones like before. uh, so, love does exist, and you want to see that people are coordinating because they can see the truth. Not because, oh, I'm a narcissist and I know they're with me. They just have a yellow light. They're saying to everyone they're with them because they also want the brick, they want the crypto money. So they have their agenda and they're being double faced with you. They're telling you they are with you and prolonging with fake promises. But because you are a narcissist, you believe they are with you and they're going to be with you. Because you're going to make that reality come true while they're playing with their also schizophrenic reality they share with you. Because you have two personalities moving here in one. So one thing is that you're in the traffic and you have to be taken down because your building doesn't work. Nobody can live in that house. You don't have a fundamental to exist in that role. You don't have foundations. You don't have fundamentals. So we'll see what's the word of the week next week. So fundamental, of course, is a word from broken foundations, and the spiritual foundation that makes a country stand up as rebirth. I asked help for United Kingdom, Spain, Europe, to support Venezuela in its spirit, its glory as allies, brothers and sisters, and help them administrate. Because the people that are doing wars are also in United States, and NATO follows. Just in your best capacity to protect and help them guide better administration from a higher state. Anyone can learn, even a child, all right? Even a child with a good support and a very deep, strong foundation that's everlasting. So this is the transition of the week. Might be 2 days, or it might be a composed 2 words in as we enter July, because it's the beginning of half of the month. It's important to know where we're moving. So I will listen in these 2 days. I'm always online. I will just work on Thursday, but it will have this word on time as the sun rises in the east. This word, moment to moment. So, what is convergence for you? When your family converted to Christianity, when your family has these character traits, maybe from Atlantis, some people have beliefs that have been passed from generation to generation. Well, my father had told me his story about his ancestors from Canary Islands. So they believe they have ancestors from Atlantis, all right? Because they're tall and they have this figure and they're calm and gentle. The could be questions, whatever is true or not, just check in, because there can be character traits that are built up from historical good and bad. Your foundations had to move, change. You still have the same house for many generations because they were all born from the first brother or sister. Look, it's just an ongoing story. But healing and creativity and having a good life is also part of understanding the what's bad within our own body. Everybody has that ancestral memory. Okay, and if they knew before, they wouldn't have killed people. If they knew better how to get in power, they wouldn't have raped children. They would ejaculate in other ways if they knew to be more tantric, more loving, more changing, everlasting. I mean, changing, because if you're in a relationship, you have to change. How are you going to be the same person? You got to change your house, change the decoration, change. Some women change their dress all the time. My mother would change her hairstyle because they would that's what she would say. It gives them the fantasy they are with another woman because it's a new hairstyle. I would be like, oh my god, like really? It's like, yeah, she has such a beautiful long, beautiful hair. So when you grow up, you can understand other stories that have mature content and why they're changing. There is a threat. You see why women are dressing white all the time because they're being threatened their husband. So the husband remembers they were married and the wife, what she represents. So these are all stories that go around you, and you're just a witness. Where are you in relation to this? I'm trying to work to have my kids back. Will send me a decent salary. Send me someone to work with that can talk in behalf for this organization to do this mapping as a professional that does mapping. Like, I can send a lot of emails everywhere. I'm just waiting to. I got an email yesterday that I recover my website. Check this out. I won't tell you all my tricks. So I knew that by registering Tech Globe Atlas, I had to register it through another name and have a lot of videos on X. So I was very afraid to look for the name because I knew it would exist. Because I've been searching for domains since domains existed, of course, as many people do. But I just checked once and I was like, God, I should have checked it when I had money. So nobody brought it. But the moment I brought that and also got behind the scene, there is The World is a Stage is the most beautiful name of all, really. You really get to see. That's for the influencers. The world is a stage. That would be to award the best influencers. Yeah. So I want to thank that to those who are happening in my behalf for the world, for the betterment of the world. That belongs to them. I am sorry. I have to, with my phone, if I'm giving you a domain, so with role players, we do a role play. The Chamberlain is not role playing because now he is behind all this and he's grown up man. But he would give the key of a castle. That was the password and the email. Just giving you a little secret. You're never gonna have the formula of virtual reality, alright? Oh, the first generation of role play in virtual reality. I would love to speak nice and clearly, but it's a therapeutic. International therapists sometimes use dirty words because you just want people to have attention. People have a lot of tension through sex, so they enter into more of an alpha mode because when they're having sex, they think differently. So they normally are having an intimate relationship. So the brain gets on another state of mind. So the defense mechanism is not there unless you're talking about S&M, which is based with rage and violence and control. So it would be nice for the priests and the nuns to study the neurological path of storyline in the brain. Some do it unconsciously and start talking with hatred because they feel very frustrated. They're also human. So I would like the religious order to respect women, single women, people that are just looking for the right partner and are not mischievous. They're just misdirected as well in generations that have no foundations. There's a good family, um, culture. So they're drugging people to code. If you want, listen to the world, if you want to have people that are coding nonstop, the computer engineers, give them Adderall, amphetamine, or crystal meth. All right? That's how they created these tech titans. That's how the brain can just go so fast. But they're still stupid, right? Doesn't mean because your brain is automatic and can expand so much and get to have such a good memory. Yeah, converging non-stop, designing, building, and non-stop shooting to promote itself. The internet systems that acquire more and more viewers. You have to also be where all the characters are, where all the people are posting on the first posts. Takes a lot of work. All right, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I did that so you could see it with Brad Pitt. Judgment. I've been telling you, look, this is how it works in the multiverse of roleplay. That's what we do. We're not all the time with our top number one character. We go with other characters, and that's how we create content. But we gotta fight. We bring our main character and operate on that format. This is what we're doing. Boom. Yeah. We don't go behind the scenes. Behind the scenes are all the rest of the characters, ours and others. As humans we are. But is the first comment, and the comments in the comments of the first comment of the first post, you have to be in a psycho mode to do that. 24/7 without sleeping. Naturally, you have that chemistry if you did dynamic meditation for so long. You know, it's just the setting that you put yourself to do that. You know you're not psycho, but you are consciously on that mode. You put yourself. So in the same way, I put myself to defend the royal family. Let's just Meghan announced that she was living with Harry on my birthday. I love royalty. Right? I will defend the king. It doesn't matter what is wrong or right. I don't care about their private life. I love my life, everyone's life. They're king and queen of their life, mother and father. You can name it as you wish, as independence, whatever you want to be. Just be it. So that is nothing more beautiful than royalty, or to love your family as royalty, to the very best of yourself as gods as possible. There's nothing wrong with it. God made us on that behalf to love with grandiousness. Not just on the day you got married. Why not celebrate a little more? Venezuela judged the president if she dresses with the with expensive clothing, because they support poor people and they hate those who have a last name. So now they condemn themselves to look poor. Venezuela needs also some synergy from the high class and all those who have a last name to bring that back. It's better they pick their opposition. Yeah. Make it fun. They know it's part of their storytelling. As taking care of Venezuela, move up to organize from another level, and take care with alliances. That's how you become stronger, when you are in control. They're helping you not to manipulate you or treat you like if they're giving you orders. Because that's what Donald Trump wants to take care of the administration. He wants to take over. He said it already. And no one should be treated in that way. Not me. Which is nice to be my kids, see my kids working on that right now. I can be in Venezuela also with my kids. My daughter wants to learn Spanish, so why not? You know, these are my beautiful kids, Alice and Zane, and I have Debbie as well. Debbie, who's in Venezuela, and she's alive, but she cannot write because they need the energy power to be recovered. So Venezuela is looking for stability. So it seems that some people are saying that the platforms are being blocked in terms of communication. But my daughter is always reporting with me, so she doesn't have energy to write back because she just checks. I know she has seen it, my message, so she just needs the energy. Hope so that she's well. I don't have her face to talk with me. Maybe somebody stole her phone. I don't think so. I deserve more communication with my daughter. She might need the energy because I don't know what's going on with where she is and how she gets the food. Their family works with food and all these resources, so she will never miss that. It's just we're very isolated. Our family has become very isolated in order to protect ourselves because we have people that work in different political, sociological parts from different parties, and we just want to have peace, and we know each one has its role. So we stop being a family just because of all the judgments. We just care for our country, the land, and the lungs of the world more than petrol. That's under my father's teachings. We are like any part of the world that likes to keep their wilderness before any. Okay. I just want you to sit in yourself when you think you're superior and when other ones have poverty and so many people taking from their situation. So many corrupted people, bad people, not doing good, taking. All these people should be removed and it can work automatically. So people are creative and they let them be. This is what I have in my dreams when I'm awake, what I live with every day. And hopefully just, mind your own business, your own garden, with your own. There is change, there's death. We're all gonna die one day. I just wish my mother has a good memory of her last years as I do more meditation and gratefulness, just from the distance, as any family would love to be. Um, Being alone is nice as well, to be able to understand uh, how this world works and what is oneself to do with all this. So, from an intellectual level, you will say, okay, this is the measurement. This is the ruler. This is what I can do, the measures. So if I put it on this earth, if I have a good foundation, this is the decision making. So we have a red light here. These are green light, red, reds. And you want just with a very simple form of mapping for what is what. So I will click where is green to see what we can do. It's totally different what you can do with those who have a yellow light. You already know. Yeah. And you know what to do with what is red light. You know, they have crises, they have problems, they have their own problems to solve in their own because they think differently. They want to have different inventions. So you will see how it works. Yeah. Independently from everyone, it will always show in the map. You will have a universal coin that starts from 0, so there is world peace and nobody fights for this new generation. And that's all the conversion that's needed. We can see later how you do the percentage by the people. Of course, young people and their teachers, which I would call professor. He's the professor of a college. That's how we call our teachers in Spain and we're kids. But, so, well, that's so much to call me a professor. It's like, can't call him a teacher. He's a professor of the school of Eton. And I'm like, he's so modest. Well, of course, I do not have it's like, he's very kind to talk with me. He's just walking through to go to another building. It's just a little chit chat. But I do enjoy that little moment more than anything in the world because it's what I admire so much. Oh, it's just really, I'm really grateful. I feel so honored that they're having the Prince George honoring their who they are. Yeah, it's well, I hope the tourists stop coming because the kids might get used to having tourists making pictures, but in that little part, it takes a lot of tool from you. I sometimes just want to really walk through but I still have to walk through those 2 streets or 3 where there are tourists making pictures and the kids are walking. I'm just going to another town, walking through. But sometimes I feel like I just want to disappear where the river is and not walk through town because it feels so invaded. I will take the tourists out of Windsor itself, just maybe the weekends. I don't know. It's. I think Windsor could make better money. It's just something I don't know. Just when I go to work, it's kind of like it feels nice when the English people have holiday and you can see because they're not in the weekend. That are the British people there in Windsor. It's a different vibe because they're all the families. They like to come to Windsor. It's different vibe than the Chinese people love Windsor because they love their empire as well. So they see it from that stand. And Americans because they feel it's their ancestors. That's like their feel. Also, is their blood. Yes, I have my Scottish grandparents, and they tell you their last names. It's really cute when they come in the store looking for their clan. Oh gosh. So I will see what happens. in my store. I also have the administration of my store coming from Scotland. So I've been notified the manager is on a holiday, 3 weeks. But by certain things I've been said, they might find they might find evidence to remove this manager because there is a lot of. It's not just the stealing that's is missing because nobody else is taking it, so it's conducting evidence already. It's just the drama, the bullying, the harassment, the distortion of reality, because they are working with some it's not there, and then it's changing everything. Every day is changing everything. All this store of 4 floors is only thinking of stealing, and then you count it up. A second story there, so you're just everybody's being fake because you're giving a fake story. So what are you gonna do with a fake story? It's like, yeah, sure, yes, let's be gaslighted to have a nice day. So, but I'm not really like that. I just go behind her and said, "It is not that. It is your behavior." I just tell her straight, like, I don't need to prove who's the boss here or who has more money or less or social status. Everybody likes to come to work and have a good day. I left this here. That's there for everyone. That's it. So we move faster, right? On another dimension. To They used to punish the kids in Europe. Uh, Put your hand there. So, so, they had attention. My private teacher, who was the director of the prince of the school, who said that's what they used to do to me. And I was like, oh, thank you for beating the desk so I have attention. It was just really like, so that's where I learned that. Her daughter wouldn't do that. She put me his daughter. And I wish I could see her to thank her. Just few people I want to thank privately. uh, just want to thank them and just make them proud of their life experience, what they taught me as man and woman and all of humanity is teaching one another. Like, isn't it that amazing to see what people do? They are about to do. It's a good idea. Why not move the parliament in Manchester? After all, the king might end up living in there. um, but why not starting to map right now? Based in growth and regeneration. Well, those are beautiful words that what politicians have. Let's see. Let's see. Can't wait to see it. Summer, have a good time. Um, yeah, I don't have a final word that I feel complete to finish. So I will let this to finish other frames and other continuums of reality. And back to me as well. So for my family. Cannot get my family in truck. Cannot even send anyone to get my daughter with me from Caracas. I just dream of holding her. So, well, I already know why I was trembling when I had her in my belly. That dream was real. Like when I was hugging her, that feeling was the same feeling when I had her on my belly and I was hugging her, but at the same time I could feel the whole thing was not a good foundation to bring life. I had to trust in God, life, and my family. They were the foundation of her life, my family and her family. So I had to trust. When I see the images of this tremor, it's like a kundalini shaking from the first chakra. Bye bye and peace, please.